Everyone. I hope you are doing well. So today I wanted to make this little video on why your awakening journey can present a major challenge for you when you are trying to really do the healing work. There are certain blind spots that show up for you on this awakening journey when you're trying to heal, simply because you are not getting to the root of the problem that really has to do with your own inner reality. It's almost like seeing a leaky ceiling and, fixing that up, patching it up real quick. But the real issue might be deep within in the plumbing. And so in this video, I really want to talk about how to make sure that you are not missing the mark on your awakening journey, because unless you really get this, you could be facing a very long awakening journey because you simply can't get down to the bottom of what you really need to heal. Now, one crucial thing for anyone that goes through a spiritual awakening to really understand is that prior to your awakening, if you experienced a challenge in your 3D reality, in your outside world, it was okay for you living in survival mode, attached to your identity, attached to relationships that you didn't quite understand at the depth that you needed to really heal, to overcome lessons. It was okay to try and fix those challenges, those obstacles, by fixing them on the outside. But the truth is that when you experience a spiritual awakening, you are really being asked to take a look within in terms of what it is inside of you that is really creating this reality for you on the outside. The work has to be done from within. So just to give you an example, let's say, after your awakening, you are experiencing a relationship that you have been in is causing a lot of trouble. Now, this person could actually come in after your awakening simply to make you realize the patterns and wounding that you actually have and what needs to be healed. Now, prior to your awakening, it would have been okay for you to try and pacify the individual, try and speak to them to see if they could, really get on the same page with you, try and fix this from, an egoic perspective. The way that you understood relationships prior to your awakening would be to really try and work it out with this individual. When you experience a spiritual awakening, you are actually being asked to go deep within yourself. And if this is a pattern in a relationship that you see quite often, if the partners that you attract towards yourself always kind of mirror the same sort of personality, you are being asked to look within, to really take a look at what it is inside of you that is projecting this sort of a reality. And so as you do that inner work, you're able to release yourself from that pattern. Think of it as trying to listen to a radio and unfortunately being on the wrong station and it being very unclear. You can raise the volume all you want, but because you are on a channel that does not match your frequency, it is not going to work. So really the inner work that you need to do here is take a look at why you keep attracting the same partners. What is the pattern there? For example, it may be that you have a nature of overgiving in relationships. So you keep attracting individuals that take and take and take from you because you're trying, to really overcome. The lesson here for you is to stop overgiving to individuals that do not respect your time, do not respect you. So you really have to go down deep to see what is happening in the outside world, in your 3D reality. Why is that truly occurring? Does this have to do with your own self-worth? Does this have to do with you experiencing lack? Does this have to do with you being an overgiver when it's really not warranted? And so the idea here is not to fix that relationship on the outside or whatever is happening on the outside, but to heal that from within you. Understand that you are enough and you do not need to overcompensate for anything, and really heal that from within. Getting deep down to where this might have started, possibly childhood, possibly a parent, abandonment issue. You really need to dig deep to see where it might actually be stemming from. one important thing that you really want to understand about healing on your awakening journey is that most often it is not about you actually doing something, but just bringing awareness to the actual issue itself. It's almost like shining a light on what needs to be seen so that it can be released. Simply the awareness of the issue, the problem, the challenge, the pattern is enough for that to really disappear and be healed from within your reality, so that that change and that reflection of what you're seeing on the outside world can match that inner vibration. So really it is about taking a look at what you have not seen so far so that you can dig deep, shine the light on whatever it is that is creating those sorts of challenges and patterns for you so that it can be healed forever. That is going to be your true medicine. Simply think of this as really updating the software of your actual consciousness so that once it's cleared and has a clear channel, it projects to you in your 3D reality what you really want to experience versus, really experiencing a 3D reality from those wounds, those patterns that are deep within you or even have been passed down to you and you're not really aware of them. So your role really here is to shine the light on everything that you can and go as deep as possible. And once that level of awareness exists, it can be released. At the moment that you become fully aware and present about what life is really trying to show you, that lesson can fully be integrated effortlessly. It does not require control. It does not require correction even. Just the awareness that you understand what the lesson here is. And simply by bringing that awareness can heal that lesson and allow you to truly release it. Thank you so much for listening. I really hope this was helpful. God bless.